You know, some mysteries don't come crashing in, they just walk by. Late at night in Fresno, a home security camera captured something that shouldn't exist. Two pale figures gliding through the dark on impossible long legs. No face, no explanation. They're known as the Fresno Nightcrawlers. They're creatures, spirits, something rooted in native folklore? We don't know. A hoax? Who knows? Just another reminder that there are things moving through our world that don't care whether we understand them or not. They don't chase, they don't threaten, they simply walk. Quiet, steady, and kind of unsettling. Tonight we're digging into the footage. We got footage from these Nightcrawlers and the mystery behind the Fresno Nightcrawlers, and asking what it means when the unknown doesn't roar but passes right in front of our cameras.
What do you see when you're in the dark?
So welcome to Buried Stories. I'm Jeff Mercurio, Wendell Brown, and Steve Mercurio. The Fresno Nightcrawlers. Now, let me see here. What I'm going to play for you guys is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Nightcrawler. This was one of the original, this Yosemite Park. This was a security camera. What you're about to see is what they call the Fresno Nightcrawlers. If you see it coming through your left. It's unreal. It's something else. Look at those legs.
Like, dude, the gait on them is just, it's unreal.
I mean, almost like stilt walking, but then there's a smaller one that's right behind it. That's incredible.
Aren't these supposed to be like 3 foot tall?
Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah, like 3 feet tall. Some people claim that they, even though they don't look like they have heads, some people claim that they actually see what appears to be two eyes somewhere up towards the top of their, I don't even know what you'd say. I don't think it's a head. I have no idea. But
so we saw that was it looked like a taller one to the right of the road and a smaller one just following like it was a child or something. So that was the first one that sparked this whole Fresno Nightcrawler and we'll show the CCTV because that was the second one, and then it took to it got on the news. It took to, just like everything else, social media just took it and ran with it. And there's been tons of sightings and reports about these things, and nobody can explain. Like you said, Steve, I mean, look at the legs on these things, and they don't walk normal. Sometimes they kick out a little bit and go forward. Some say they're aliens, some say they're spirits, others are like they're interdimensional somethings. Nobody can explain this, and I'm right with them. This one to me is baffling. Wendell, do you got any thoughts on this?
I like to be open-minded, Jeff, but I'm thinking hoax all the way on this one. I just don't see it. Don't. Now I'm going to listen to you guys talk, so maybe you'll say something I haven't heard that'll change my mind, but hoax all day long to me on this one.
Well, Wendell, I like where you're going with this. I automatically kind of thought it'd be a hoax as well. But where I get stuck on the hoax thing is, if it's a person and you're just seeing their legs, like, are they just wearing black up top? Like, how are they hiding? Is it a trick of the camera? Like, how are they hiding their torso up? It
Well,
just is where I
the
get
one
lost
thing
in
that
it.
caught my eye was, you deal with this a lot in UFO incidents, infrared, different camera spectrums. And that's what it looks like to me. It looks like night vision shenanigans to me.
Okay. Well, Jeff, why don't you want to bring up show him the other one,
Well,
the footage?
a couple of short things about the Fresno Nightcrawlers. It's been said that they sit at the crossroads of indigenous style spirit lore, but no tribes in America, especially out in California, have ever come out and say, yeah, this is, part of our lore. So that might have been named up. Paranormal watcher theory. Again, the watchers come up in some of these stories, but I don't buy that one, or an internet era mythology. So I don't know.
That's a lot of
These things,
in-depth detail about two things walking across a yard.
yeah,
I
yeah.
would agree. Some of the other things I read about this that came up is supposedly they always travel in pairs. And I think the two videos that I saw, there was only two of them walking together, usually a larger one and a
Mhm.
smaller one. I don't know if it's a parent situation or or a companion situation. Could be maybe a phantom and a pet type of thing. I don't know. It's just so, because usually the two videos I saw, there's a larger one and then there's a shorter one. So it seems to be more of like maybe a parent and a child, or like I said, some sort of upbringing. But I mean, you can go so many. There's only, I think, 2 to 3 videos I've ever seen. And by the way, this was also covered on Paranormal Caught on Video. These videos made it to that show as well.
Did it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
Surprisingly.
wow. And like I said, here's the other one. This one was in Fresno, California. This is CCTV camera footage. We'll see what what we see as far as the crawlers here. As you can see, this thing is just, I don't know.
Boy,
Play
that's
it again.
yeah.
I mean, you can see it off in the distance. Another thing is grainy footage again. But look at that gait. Look at the
Yeah.
stride.
And it doesn't look tall.
No,
I mean, look at the tree compared to the tree. Now, it's kind of hard, but that looks like a very small tree to me,
right.
based on, the trunk size. I could be completely wrong about this, but it doesn't look like it carries a lot of size.
And is this looped? Are they playing the same one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could
It,
tell
it
it's
kind of
looped.
looks
Yeah.
looped, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the one that actually, those two videos right there are the ones that started this whole thing, and they're strange to me. I don't know what to make of these, even to where to go with this subject as far as like what they could possibly be. Although,
What? Uh,
the paranormal side of everything, we don't know much, so it could be anything.
well, I got to tell you a couple things that popped up in my mind. First of all, it kind of looks like, if there is a torso, it looks like somebody wearing some old MC Hammer pants, right? Because of the
Yeah,
flow of the pants, right? Like
right.
there's a definite flow to those pants, right? And or whatever they are. Another thing that popped up in my mind, have you guys ever seen, I think it's a Disney film called Onward?
Uh,
It's
I
about two children whose parent or father passed away. And I if I remember it correctly, they had like a spell or something. They were able to bring the father back for 24 hours, but they messed it up somehow, and they can only they can only see from the pants down. That's it. The entire film is basically the
just,
father's pants down is just
yeah,
hanging out with them, going to walk, And so
right.
could it, I mean, and this is why I bring that up. could it potentially be? It takes a lot of energy. Supposedly, the theory is that it takes a lot of energy for ghosts to manifest themselves, right?
Right, right,
You have to have batteries near or some way of obtaining energy out of the atmosphere in order to propel yourself and for others to see whether supposedly they're going to speak, whether they're going to be seen. So could this be two tales of maybe spirits struggling to bring their whole apparition to form? I don't know. It's just, because they look like walking like from the torso down, right? That's
right.
basically what it looks like, just walking legs.
Yeah, yeah. And the original Nightcrawler sightings started back in Fresno in 2007, 2008. And the story that started it all comes from Fresno resident known only as Jose. One night in 2007, his dogs were barking nonstop. When he reviewed his home security footage the next morning, he saw something strange. He saw two pale, long legged figures moving across the front lawn at night, and they appeared almost like walking pairs of white pants. And we've seen that in those videos with a tiny head, but no obvious arms or torso. So he was able to see some sort of tiny head or something on this. The footage was grainy, eerie, and unlike any known animal or human seen on camera. But the one thing is, Jose shared this tape with the local Univision TV station, hoping for answers. And the clip was eventually shown publicly, sparking fascination and debate between believers and skeptics. So it did make national TV, you know.
Which might have been the purpose.
Yeah,
Very
that
much
could have
could
been.
be.
Right, right. And go ahead, Steve.
Well, I was just gonna say, I happen to show that my wife's more of a realist, right? Like I
Right.
like to kind of think of the world as a very spectacular and mysterious place. My wife's a little bit more, it's either this or that. And it's funny because I was showing her, I knew this show was coming up with you guys, and I trying to show her a couple of the videos, and she goes, "Well, that just looks like our daughter with a sheet on." And I'm like, "No, look how tall those legs are." And she goes, "Honey, our daughter has really tall legs. Like she's got really tall, skinny legs." And I'm like, okay. I mean, it's kind of hard to argue with that, but again, it's where would you have hide the rest of
Right.
the body in a
Yeah.
way, you
Yeah,
know?
I mean, it's once again, it's grainy video. Whoever pulled it off, if it's a hoax, I mean, they made national television. They made paranormal TV and stuff like that, and they got what they wanted. They became famous without reaping anything or harming anybody, you know? And it became an internet fascination because there's tons of stories out there.
Well, let me ask you about the Yosemite for a moment, just a moment
Right,
here. Jose's video, I can understand, right?
right.
Like if you're trying to get famous, it's the first time we're seeing this, and it's very much a mystery, and everything. But what did you find anything more about the Yosemite? Because I feel like that video itself is more of like a security cam of sorts, right? For inside the park. So
That
what
was a security cam inside the park, and I'm trying to pull up, as far as, like, the Yosemite, that was taken in, 2011, that picture or that video there. Let me see here. Yeah, 2011 Yosemite National Park surveillance cameras. A second purported video came from Yosemite National Park surveillance cameras a few years later. The two figures recorded walking near park facilities at night. Their proportions and gait seem similar to the original Fresno footage. So this must have came out second to the original, um, you know, Jose's footage. And this added to speculation that the phenomena just wasn't, a once off glitch or prank, because this was actually Yosemite National Park's surveillance footage. So,
So I feel like that brings a little bit more. I hate to use the word credibility, but I think that's the word I'm going to use here. Look, I'm not going to say this is real, And again, I understand the dynamic of potentially Jose's video, kind of gaining, catching fire and everything. But I got to question this Yosemite footage. Like, who benefits from that? Like, what comes from that? You know what I mean? Like, if you're somebody who wants to trick somebody or anything, right? I mean, and would that be the camera you would want to use? Like, would you be sitting out there with your buddy, like, hey, guess what we're gonna do tonight? We're gonna Fresno night crawl right past this security footage, right?
Right.
Like,
Well, the problem is number one, you'd have to do some reconnaissance. Who knows where that camera was set up? So if you're going to do some prank in a national park, unless it's one of them, I don't know if you'd ever know the camera was there. So why even do that?
I would say the same. It looks like the same anomaly on maybe a similar camera system to me. Not
Right.
that, and I'm not saying somebody set it up.
Right.
Somebody saw it, found it. It's like looking at your video, your Ring doorbell video, and
Right.
hey, that's kind of neat. And so that's more of where I'm coming from, hoax wise. Not that somebody set up some elaborate, got their laundry and all their jeans off their laundry wire and
Right.
puppeted them through the yard. But but one that, like I said, the night vision, anything
Yeah.
in infrared or night vision, I don't usually believe right off the top. And and to me, you're right, Steve. The Yosemite thing gives it a different, another point, of reference kind of thing. But it may be the same anomaly on the same kind of camera system with some certain lighting. Just working with this damn green screen thing. If your lighting's wrong, you disappear.
yeah,
You understand what I mean? And uh, so maybe it's just a quirk of some camera lighting anomaly thing, but um, that's about as far as I'd go with it. Maybe.
You think
yeah.
it could be dust or a bug that like got really close to the camera and maybe all you saw was two legs trying to
And that,
crawl away or
yeah,
something?
that's
I
like
don't.
when we were in Skinwalker and we filmed the whole time we were there with those GoPros,
Right.
and you would swear you saw a Tic Tac go across the moon when it could have been a bug that just streaked across the camera lens, and when you slow it down, it looks like a damn ship. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I'd say on this, that's where I was leaning. I wasn't really leaning towards somebody came up with an elaborate hoax. I think they found something and thought it was cool, but it could be lighting, it could be camera, a combination of camera anomalies and lighting. It's at night. Um, so I don't know. I'm not a believer, but who knows? We may run across some new evidence that
Yeah.
changes my mind.
All
Well,
right. So
just to kind of go against that grain a little bit here, though, the first footage, the 2007 Fresno,
Mhm.
I could believe where you guys are going with this. Maybe some sort of like camera glitch error, lighting error. Definitely, I could see that because it doesn't really follow a path, right? It's just kind of walking through the yard and whatnot, right? What's interesting though, if you go back and you watch the Yosemite video, it seems to be following an exact pathway of asphalt, right? It's not, I mean, you would think if like nature characteristic of a bug or something kind of getting in front of the lens or something, I don't think it would have followed that exact path. I think we'd have saw more of going down and up, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
but if you
Yeah.
noticed, I mean, that thing follows that asphalt right from all the way to the left, follows that road all the way to the right, like on the road, doesn't veer off. And I think if it was something like that, I would think that you would see it go maybe in the grass or go higher up on the lens or lower on the lens. that one seems to really follow a path. Like, we're going to stay on this asphalt, cross the path. Now, it doesn't mean it's not a hoax, Wendell. It could be somebody, adding something later, right? Maybe taking the original footage, kind of tricking it or moving it with some special effects of some sort. Again, why somebody would want to do this all, I have no idea, but who am I to criticize somebody's, but
Hey, I will
I just
say,
find that one
Steve,
interesting. Yeah.
can you imagine if we back in the day snuck out of the house with Dad's good pair of white pants to pull a hoax off like this, and he caught us?
Yeah, we'd be behind. I mean, the only way I could think I would be able to do this is like kind of what you're talking about, Wendell, where you have some sort of green screen or something, right? And then you put yourself dress up as a ninja, so your whole being is black, right? And then you just kind of kick some white pants in front of you, like you're hiding behind the pants,
Yeah.
just like
That's what it
kicking
looks
them
like
out
at
a little
times.
bit. I mean, that's
But
kind of the
I
only thing.
tell you what, I do love it. It's great, and if it is a hoax, I mean, kudos to that person because it took off. And if it's not a hoax and it's something unexplainable,
We'll talk
well,
again.
yeah, then we'll
Exactly.
talk again. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that just brings me back to when we were younger and doing stuff at our house and getting in trouble playing pranks around the neighborhood. But to me, I don't know what to make of it. I personally believe even if it's an anomaly, it took off. It makes for a great story. Now Fresno's on the map with their own cryptid made TV. So
There you
if
go.
there's more people seeing them, email us, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you on this one. Steve, what do you make of this? What's your final conclusion on this one?
Well, look, I like the idea of there being different types of beings in the world. I think it makes for a much funner world to live in. And I sure as hell love all the folklore that comes with cryptids and this and that. I mean, it's what makes things special, right? Because we all live in the ordinary and we all live in reality, right? We all go to work and everything. But when you see something like this, it just really tickles me in a way that, because this is, look, it's easier to believe in other cryptids, right? We
Right.
have this thought that we could believe in the wolf man, which isn't that arguably just a werewolf, but essentially, Bigfoot. Look, I could easily believe in Bigfoot, right? I mean, this one is just so far out there. I've never seen anything even remotely like this, even in the natural world, right? We tend to think, what do they say? God creates things kind of in the perception of man, right? So when you look at a lot of other species and stuff like that, I mean, they have arms, they have legs, or maybe they have all four legs, but they have a face, they have a mouth, they have a torso, right? This thing is just way out there in left field, existing somewhere. Look, I don't buy it now. I wish there was more footage of it. I really do. Like, I wish there were more examples that I could point at, because the one footage to me it just kind of seemed too grainy to really get a look. But that Yosemite one it's intriguing, especially like the other one is so much smaller than the first one.
Yeah.
So if you imagine somebody trying to prank you on the first one, okay, I can get that. But the second one's so much tinier. Did somebody just take their chihuahua and throw a white blanket on it?
And one of the flags to me, Steve, you hit it. Like in our generation, we're older, but in our generation, we had cool monsters, wolfmen and Dracula
Yeah.
and vampires and things. These kids have SpongeBob. So that's what is a flag to me, because this looks so ridiculous that it's funny to some of these people. You
It is.
understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It is funny.
And
funny.
that's a flag to me.
Okay.
Because there is a difference in our sense of humors,
Right.
our generational sense of humors. If anybody can explain SpongeBob someday, why ever, anybody ever watched, never mind. Don't even tell me if you find out. Um, I don't want to know. Um, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had some monsters with some character.
Right.
But that was a flag to me too that this would be something somebody would find funny. A pair of pants walking, and not our generation, of course. We think it's stupid, but but the uh, but the younger generation, they're much more frivolous, I think, in
Well,
some things.
like you're saying, if it's a hoax, and from this generation, it's innocent, and somebody just grabbed their 8-year-old brother and said,
Yep.
"You stand
Yeah.
behind this one and
Yeah.
kick the legs like I do."
Not
So
only that, he
it's
got on the news and probably has 1 million followers. So,
oh yeah, I
yeah,
know,
so
Could be.
I know,
you
yeah.
know,
So do we all kind of agree it's an anomaly that could be a hoax, makes for a great story? It's
yeah, it could
I
be a
think
hoax, could be an anomaly, either one.
yeah,
Look, I
I
hope
think it's
it
funny.
does exist. I
Right.
really do. There's part of me that's hoping somewhere in a parallel universe exists the Fresno Nightcrawler. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things that's so goofy. You
Right.
kind of hope there's some sort of weird reality to this.
Yeah. And it doesn't chase anybody, it doesn't harm anybody, it just walks. So, all right. So that's it for tonight's show on the Fresno Nightcrawler. I'm Jeff Mercurio, along with Wendell Brown and Steve Mercurio. We thank you for watching. If you have a comment, please leave a comment below. Let us know if you enjoyed the show. If you have a story, you can leave it there, or you can email us at buriedstories74@gmail.com. Hit that like button, subscribe, and until next time, check your pants drawer.